How to identify a Russian blue. Have you ever come across a stunning blue cat but didn't know what kind of cat it was? The odds of it are low, but it could be a Russian blue cat. There are a few ways to help you identify a Russian blue cat when you find one. Method 1. Recognizing Russian blue characteristics. 1. Learn about the breed. The Russian blue is a type of purebred or pedigree cat. The origins of the breed are unknown, but it is believed they originated in the Archangel Islands in North Russia. The weather there is extremely harsh in winter, which is why the Russian blue developed such a thick, plush coat for insulation. The breed started spreading to other parts of the world in the second half of the 19th century, and reached the US in the early 20th century. 2. Notice the cat's size. Russian blues are around 10 inches in height to the shoulder. Their average weight is 12 pounds, although some individuals will be bigger or smaller than this, depending on their lifestyle, feeding habits, and how active they are. They have an average lifespan of 10–15 years. 3. Recognize the cat's general appearance. Russian blues give an overall impression of being a long, slender, elegant cat. They have a long graceful neck when stretched out, but the deep plush coat can disguise this and make the neck appear shorter. The body is lean with fine bones and generally with defined, lean muscles. 4. Notice the eye color. Russian blues have a distinctive green eye color. This trait starts to develop from 4 months of age and manifests as a rim of green around the outside of the iris, which is the colored part of the eye. All kittens are born with blue eyes, but the color changes to the final adult shade once they get older. 5. Look at the head shape. Russian blues have a characteristic wedge-shaped or triangular face, which is often described as cobra-like with 7 distinct planes. Typical cats, in contrast, tend to have a rounder, more apple-like skull. This sets Russian blues apart. 6. Examine the coloring of the fur, nose, and paws. The most striking and unique thing about a Russian blue is the coat for which it is named. It appears silvery gray, though blue is a traditional description for this color. It should be dense, thick, plush, and double-layered. If you look carefully at individual hairs, you will find a gray shaft tipped with lighter gray or silver at the tip. The nose of the Russian blues will be black and the paw pads will be mauve. 7. Consider the character of the cat. Russian blues tends to be shy with strangers, but affectionate once they get to know their owners. They are gentle and playful, which makes them very suitable for first-time cat owners. One of their particular quirks is that the Russian blues likes to play fetch, which is most unusual amongst cat breeds and more usually associated with their canine friends. Russian blues have a reputation for having a quiet voice, unlike some of the other breeds with an oriental appearance and pointed face, such as the Siamese or Havanese. These breeds can be extremely vocal and screechy. They are great observers and love to actively watch what's going on around them, without necessarily joining in. Like many cats, they are lovers of peace and will prefer to retire to a quieter spot while noisy activities such as vacuuming take place. 8. Check the pedigree papers. Cats are not recognized to have a distinct breed unless they have the pedigree to prove it. You cannot claim that a pretty blue cat is Russian blue if you don't have the papers to prove it. If there are no paper, that cat is actually considered a domestic shorthair, which is the official term for no-breed felines. This doesn't make that cat any less worthy of a good home, of course, but it is definitely not considered a Russian blue if you ask show judges or breeders. 9. Think about the costs. True Russian blues are in fact rather rare, and often very expensive. The average reservation fee alone for one in Europe from a decent cattery is around €1,000 as of 2012. The average cost of Russian blue kittens in the US is between $400 and $600. Most so-called Russian blues at shelters are in fact just domestic shorthairs, as cats of such an expense would not be abandoned. Breeders are also very strict about their standards and often refuse to sell Russian blues to families that cannot commit to the cat. All pet-quality Russian blues are sold spayed or neutered to prevent them from reproducing and stop non-breeders flooding the market with Russian blue kittens, which would make them less exclusive.